Everyone, so today I want to do a comparison on the original Holy Grail, like OG beauty blender, which looks like this, and then I wanted to compare it to the Real Techniques. I don't know what the real name of this sponge is, but it's their dupe of the beauty blender. This one is not in large, but you know what? Actually, I should probably go put this in water so you guys can see the full size. Okay, so I'm back with them. Both are damp, so you can see what they really look like when you would be using them. Basically, the beauty blender here is $20 at least, and this one from Real Techniques is about $5.99, $6, and at Ulta there's always like the $3.50 off $10 purchase, and you normally can get Real Techniques for buy one get one 50% off. So if you bought two during the times that those had, like, this is super cheap to get. And personally, I prefer the Real Techniques one over the Beauty Blender. I got the Beauty Blender for Christmas from my sister's boyfriend, and then I bought the Real Techniques a few, maybe a couple weeks after Christmas, once I saw something comparing the two, and I just wanted to know if they had anything in common, because normally when people are talking about beauty blender dupes, nothing compares to this. And I understood when I first used this after Christmas and I got it and I was applying with my makeup with it for the first time. I really liked how this applied my makeup, and I like how the edges and like this tip, you can really get your blemishes and stuff like that, and you can do under eye. But this one has more places on it for you to do like all your makeup with. So with this one I was kind of limited in the spaces where I could use like I wanted to do my foundation with this flat edge and then kind of like roll and buff it in, but then I didn't really have anywhere to do like liquid highlighter or like my under eye concealer and then doing concealer on spots, because you don't want to use the same place that you're putting something on a blemish on your under eye. So I do like this one and it works great. I understand why everyone likes it, but I like the Real Techniques one more. This one has a flat edge, as you can see, like when I hold it like this. I really like this edge for doing my under eye concealer. I apply my Benefit Stay Don't Stray concealer primer with this and buff that out with it. And then I can apply my concealer over top of that and it just blends beautifully. I use this side that's attached to that weird part where I use the concealer with liquid highlighter. So I buff that in, or smash it into my face. I don't really know the correct term because you're not buffing because it's not a brush, but liquid highlighter goes on really well when you just mash it in your face like that, and down the nose is on the Cupid's bow. I really like how that works. The tip, which is just like the Beauty Blender, that's how I like to apply my concealer to spots if I have any. So I do have one on my forehead, and I would just mash that into there, and it really applies coverage well, and it doesn't look cakey because you're filling the sponge with water, so it kind of just helps it more look like skin than it looks like makeup. And then of course we have this whole side that I use for my whole face and do my foundation or my BB cream with. So I just think that this one has more sides to work with, and you can really use as many products, and there's a place on the sponge for each product to go on. So this has really eliminated a lot of my face brushes. Like if I were gonna travel, I would definitely bring this, because this is a lot less room, especially when it's dry, than a foundation brush, a concealer brush, a under eye concealer brush, like, and a liquid highlighter brush. Like, this just does a lot more than I think this one does. When I was just using the Beauty Blender, I was still using a liquid highlighter brush, and I was also using a spot concealer brush. So I think if you want to spend the money, this one is great. They both feel the same to me when they're both expanded into their hugeness. But for me, since this one's cheaper and there's more places to apply product, I prefer this one, honestly. And yeah, that's my review, and take it for what you want. If you already have the Beauty Blender and you're fine with it, you might want to just give this one a try because it's less money, and if you're going to buy like a $20 Beauty Blender every month or every 2 months, because sponges, you know, they have to go a lot faster than a makeup brush would, it's pretty cost effective to do these ones instead of the beauty blenders. But that's just my take on it, and I also wanted to mention my way of cleaning them. So I have this Dr. Bronner's liquid soap that I clean my makeup brushes with, and I saw that the Beauty Blender had their own Beauty Blender liquid cleanser, so I tried the Dr. Bronner's liquid cleanser on it, and it wasn't really working. So when I saw that the Beauty Blender had a solid cleanser, I figured why not try the Dr. Bronner's solid bar soap cleanser. So that's what I tried to use to clean my Beauty Blender, and I have used this quite a lot, and as you can see, it looks pretty new. Like, I would assume that this would look like crap by the amount of times I've used it, and it's looking pretty good. And then you can see with my Real Techniques one, I just filmed a demo on how to clean it, so I didn't really go in depth of cleaning every stain off of it, but I could get this much more cleaner if I had a little bit more time. But it does get the job done, and this is $4.50, and I think that the Beauty Blender cleanser is like $15, $20, I'm not really sure, but I know this is a lot cheaper than buying the Beauty Blender brand cleanser. So I hope that helps you guys. I'm gonna leave you guys to watch the tutorial on how I wash my Beauty Blender and my dupe for the Beauty Blender, the Real Techniques sponge. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye guys. What you want to do is wet your sponge. You can see mine's pretty dirty. And squeeze out the water as you run it under so it gets enlarged. And then wet the soap a little bit and run the parts that's dirty over the soap. As you can see, the soap is kind of turning a brownish orangish color. I don't know if you can see. And then when I squeeze out the excess water, brown is coming out. So that means that the makeup is coming out of the sponge. So again, I'm gonna take a part that's dirty, which this flat side is because that's what I use for my under eyes, and swirl that on the solid bar. And then try to really work in that soap, and then squeeze out the excess. Once you're done, or you think that you got the majority of the foundation out of your sponge, you can then rinse it, and you want to make sure that you get all the soap out of it because it does damage the sponge if you leave the soap in it and it dries. So I'm just going to keep rinsing it and squeezing out the excess water as I rinse. Once you're done, just give it a good squeeze, and you can squeeze off the excess water in a towel, and then you have a good clean sponge. It's not gonna come completely clean because the foundation kind of stains it a little bit, but this way it's completely sanitized, and if you worked with the soap a little bit more, it would be pretty much all the way clean. So this is my Beauty Blender, and pretty much this looks brand new, except the bottom is a little stained, but that's how this works with the soap. So there you go.